Hello, Year 6. This is Thursday, the 25th of February, and we are in Lesson 4 of our 2-week unit where we are writing and publishing a newspaper report. Now, today, you're going to use your knowledge of yesterday and apply it to annotating a waggle. So, all your knowledge of features of a newspaper report is going to be very useful to help you annotate the waggle that I'm going to give you today. So for this lesson, you're going to need paper, pencils, coloured pencils, your group's waggle that I sent you through last night, and also your checklist from yesterday. If you haven't got that, can you please pop and get it now and then restart the lesson? Okay, Year 6. Yesterday, you explored the features of a newspaper report, and you then completed this checklist. So this should be full of all the things that you need in a newspaper report. Hopefully, you've already filled the purpose in, which is to inform people of Valery Rossov's base jump, and the audience is people who are interested in extreme sports. And I've already filled in the form, which is a newspaper report for you. So you've got everything here that you need, and you also need your waggle. So this is today's task, Year 6. Blue and green groups, I'm going to talk to you first, but yellow groups, you can stay with me because the task that you will be doing is very similar to what blue and green groups will be doing. It's only the waggle that has changed for you. So first of all, Year 6, I'm going to read this waggle to you so that you get a feel of what a newspaper report could be like. So, on a bright, cold morning in May, Valery Rossov, the extreme base jumper, attempted to beat the base jumping world record by jumping off the dangerous Mount Choi-Oyu. This Russian daredevil in his distinctive and specialist suit has landed yet another first in the mountain's history. Franco Splits from Red Bull, Valery's sponsor, on hearing the news congratulated Rossov, but indicated that it didn't come easy, pointing out it took a lot of time, determination, training and money to get to yesterday's high point. From a very young age, this intrepid sportsman has had a passion for dangerous sports. As he got older, he realized that he could make a living out of his love for pushing himself to the limit, and for many years now has challenged himself to make death-defying leaps off tall buildings. When interviewed, Rossov boasted, "No one has ever done anything like this jump before. Probably no one else will dare to do it again. That's why I wanted to do it." Surprisingly, a spokeswoman from the specialist team admitted that the event was over 2 years in the planning. Despite the actual jump being completed within 3 minutes, an unbelievable amount of resources and funding went into the jump. Over the years, every intricate detail, including weather, daylight, wind speeds, and potential scenarios, had to be considered in order to prevent a record-breaking disaster. The bold Russian, with his team, took 4 days to complete their ascent to the summit of the mountain. At precisely 2:30 local time, they stood proudly at the peak of the breathtaking mountain, ready to hastily conquer the record. "As I peered down beneath me, I felt nothing but excitement," recalls Rossov proudly. Balancing at the very top of the north face, this intrepid and brave Russian with a head for heights composed himself and jumped. Initially, as he later informed our reporter, he found himself struggling with the altitude, but quickly got out of free fall and used his specialist suit to glide along the air currents of Mount Choi-Oyu. "We knew that there may be difficulties with aspects of the jump. However, Valery is an experienced sports person and capable of handling any eventuality," stated confident team organizer Jeff Brooks, watching from the safety of the ground. On landing, Valery, who was exhilarated, gave a rare interview. "I'm delighted to have conquered or completed this extremely complicated and hard jump." Catching his breath, he gasped, "It was the most difficult jump for me because of the high altitude. I was worried that my physical fitness wouldn't be enough and that this would affect my reactions, but thankfully everything was okay. Everything worked. Woohoo!" What will this intrepid adventurer attempt next? A spokesperson from Red Bull, the sponsor, indicated that plans are being made for yet another extreme jump. At this moment in time, it is top secret. No one, except his trusted team, know what it will be. I guess we will just have to wait and see. So that's your waggle, blue and green groups. And the first thing you're going to do with that waggle is complete task 1, which is fill in or identify the following things in the text. So you've got fronted adverbials, expanded noun phrases, relative clause. Then you've got to identify the job of each paragraph. And your challenge is, can you find me some direct speech in there? And you're going to color code everything. Now, we've done color coding in the past, both in class, and you've done it when you've been remote learning as well. So you should know what to do now. So you're going to identify a color. So say it was me and I'm doing fronted adverbials. I'd say green's fronted adverbials, and then I'd go through the whole text, identify fronted adverbials, like so. Okay, and then I'd work my way through paragraph after paragraph, looking firstly for fronted adverbials, then for expanded noun phrases, so that by the end of the lesson, this should be all ticked in, coloured in rather, with different colours, like a rainbow almost. And then your second task is to use your checklist that you did yesterday, and what other features can you identify in here that are useful? And with those features and things that you identify, you're going to do almost a read aloud, think aloud task, annotating around the outside of the text. So blue and green groups, that's your task. So I'd like you now to pause the video and go away and do that task. And when you're finished doing that task, rejoin the lesson. Yellow group, stay with me. Yellow group, I've done you a waggle. It's a same number of paragraphs in there, but I've changed it slightly for you, just so that you've got something that's easier to manipulate and work around. So I've just double spaced it for you, which is easier to read. So what I would like you to do is do exactly what the blue and green group have done in terms of I have given you a task here that I'd like you to do. So you're looking for all these things and you're color coding them in the text. Now, what I suggest you do is you look at a paragraph at a time. So get a piece of paper and cover up all the other paragraphs and don't worry about them until you've done the first paragraph. So then I would go down here and think the first thing I'm looking for is fronted adverbials, and I'll go through the whole text looking for fronted adverbials and mark them up. So surprise, surprise, fronted adverbials, blue, green, that's my fronted adverbial here. There may be some more in there, I don't know. But my big clue is to you, yellow group, is that if it's on this list, it's in there somewhere. And then you go through and you color code look for expanded noun phrases with a different color and move right the way through. And then when you've got everything you can in that paragraph, move down to the next paragraph and do exactly the same thing again, using the same color coding system that you had for the first paragraph. So yellow group, that's your task that I'd like you to do this morning. So please stop the video and go away and do that task. When you've completed it, come back to me. Okay, year 6. So now you have completed today's task. The only thing that remains for me to remind you to do is to submit your annotated waggle to your class teacher at the end of the day. So that, year 6, is the end of Thursday's lesson. I shall see you tomorrow.